All right, we're going to do a lesson today on inequalities. So you have a notes page, so go ahead and let's just follow along. So an inequality so let's just know that in an equation use an equal sign to show that both sides are equal. But in an equality, it shows that both sides may not be equal. So in an equation, you have one exact answer, but in an equality, you've got more than one answer. All right. So an inequality sign is the greater than or less than, which I'm sure you are used to. So this is my greater than sign. This is my less than sign. Okay. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. All right. So those are my symbols. So I can use them in a statement. All right. So 4 is obviously less than 9. 0.5 and 0.45. If you want to make them the same, you can put a 0 there. So then that lets you know that 0.5 tenths is greater than 45 hundredths. All right, 3 is less than 6. And if you want to make that, you've got 1.04 is less than 1.4. All right, so that is just using inequality signs, right? Greater than or less than. So we want to use when we're writing inequalities, we can use a variable, okay, as our starting point. You always want to try to make it at the beginning, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So if it is not written at the beginning, if the variable is not written at the beginning, you can simply flip them over. But when you flip them, make sure that you flip the sign as well, all right? So 6 is less than or equal to x. You could have read it this way: x is greater than or equal to 6. So see, I flipped the sign from here to here, okay? So one of the things you can do is you can determine, if I give you the value of the variable, you can tell me if it's a true statement by just plugging it in. All right, so x plus 6 is greater than 11 if x is 5. So if I plug that in, 5 plus 6 is 11. So you ask yourself, is 11 greater than 11? No, that's false. So x cannot be 5. Okay, let's go over here and plug it in. If x is 6, so if I multiply that, 7 times 6 is 42. Is 42 less than 45? Yes, that is a true statement. So x could be 6. Okay, all right, so I want you to pause the video and I want you to do 1 through 6 and tell me if it is a true or false statement for the variable that I give you. All right, check those answers. Okay, you're just telling me if they are true or false. Okay. All right, so sometimes, here they are. All right. All right, so on the back of your notes, I want you to make sure then you write the symbol, and I want you to write the words that go along with it, okay? This is the greater than symbol. You could have also, in words, um, they might say is more than, this is less than, some of the words is fewer than. Okay, I want you to go through and write down these words. I have some more on another slide, so make sure to leave some room. All right, so when we are, I'm going to move on here. Yep. All right, so when we are graphing, I'm going to show you how to graph them. So if my example is here, x is greater than 3. Okay, if I want to graph it, I'm going to simply make a number line. You don't have to write 1, 2, 3, whatever. Since we're just graphing this one, you can just put the number that we're starting with. That's fine. Okay, so x is greater than 3. So you think about where my number is greater than 3. They are this way. Okay. Now, the only thing I need to decide on is, can my number be exactly 3? If it's greater than 3, it cannot. So that's going to get an open dot. An open dot. So if it is the greater than, it's going to get an open dot because it does not include 3. So, and what I mean by that, if I do the next one, x is greater than or equal to 5. These are my numbers greater than 5, but it says or equal to 5, so it could be 5. So that would get a closed dot. Okay. All right, so here's your examples. This says x is less than 12. Okay, that would get an open dot because it does not include 12. 12 could not be your answer. If I put 12 in here, 12 is not less than 12. Okay, all right, let's go to the next one. X is less than or equal to 4, so that means it could be 4. Okay, all right, so that's graphing. All right, so why don't you go ahead and you've got 6 questions there, 7 through 12. Go ahead and do those. All right, check your examples. Okay, remember that I said that it's much easier if the variable is on the left side. And the reason being is that if you look at this, doesn't this kind of look like an arrow going that way? So it kind of gives you the direction that your arrow should be going. Okay, if you notice this one, see how the variable is not on the left side, so it's actually going opposite. So if you wanted to rewrite it, then you notice that the arrow is going that direction. Okay, that helps you. It might help you to kind of look at it. All right, so there's through 9, and then here's your 10, 11, and 12. All right, check those out. All right. All right, so the next thing we're doing, okay, I said I was going to have a couple more words. So make sure that you go through and write these, especially these are ones that are important because these are the ones that people miss quite a bit. So now we're going to write expressions. Okay, we're going to have it in word form and we're going to write the expression. So these words might be very important. Okay, help us. All right, so let me explain. So if you want, you can take some time and write the rest of these out. You'll also notice them on an anchor chart at the front of the room. All right, so let's look at this. So her income was no more than $55,000. So when you write an inequality, you can write the variable. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to choose X. You can write your number. And then you just have to decide what inequality goes in the middle. So it was no more than 55,000. So it wasn't more than that. So that means, could it have been 60,000? No, it wasn't more than that. So that means it has to be less than that. Okay, so first decide if it's a greater than or less than. Then decide, could it be exactly that? Well, no more than that. Yeah, I could have exactly that, just no more. So that's the less than or equal to sign. Okay, you need at least 15 people to play the game. Okay, so I'm going to write my variable, write the number. Okay, I need at least 15 people. So think about it. Could I play with 20 people? Well, yeah, I just need to have at least 15. So I could have more. So I could have greater than that. And then ask yourself, can I have exactly 15? Yes. Okay. I'm going to go to this one. Her account was below $100. So variable number. So it was below. So that's obviously lower. Now, was it exactly 100? No, it said below it. So that's just the less than symbol, not the or equal. It could not have been $100. It was below 100. All right, why don't you go ahead and do this one, this one, and this one. Pause the video. All right, so there was a minimum of 25 people. Minimum means I have to have that amount or more. Okay, that amount or more. So I have to have that amount or more. Okay, so that was the greater than or equal to. It could have been 25. Okay, more than 225, more. Well, that's obviously. Okay, and it couldn't be exactly 225. It was more. All right, and then there were at least 300, at least, so that means there could have been more. Okay. All right, so if need be, go back and check that the reference sheet that you have. All right. All right, so now on the last 4 here, we're going to write the inequality, then graph it. All right. So the McDonald family spends no more than $150 on groceries. All right, so I'm going to write my variable, write my number. All right, and then figure out what I want. No more than. Okay, so they couldn't spend more. So it has to be less than 150. And then could it be exactly? Yeah, it just couldn't be more than that. All right. Then just come over here and go 150. Okay, it could be 150 and less than. All right, you do 14, 15, 16. Pause the video. All right, check out those answers. All right, last one. Callie says of the graph, the inequality, 5 is greater than or equal to W. is the same as a graph of W is greater than or equal to 5. When you think about it and you want to look at the variable, always read from the variable side. So this says the W has to be less than or equal to 5. It has to be less than or equal to 5. And over here it says W has to be greater than or equal to 5. So that's not true. One of them, it would be going, let's look at it. One of them would be going this way, has to be greater than or equal to 5. That would be this one. The other one would look the direct opposite. Okay, that's what this one would look like. And that's what this one would look like. All right. All right. If you have any questions with inequalities, let me know. Have a great day.